Hey, my name's Austin Scelzo, and this is my review of the ACEMIC wireless violin microphone. So I want to first mention that my experience playing mostly bluegrass and country and some of swing music is mostly acoustic, and a lot of the times that I play, I'm using my regular acoustic violin into a wired microphone. When I'm playing bluegrass music, that's usually a large diaphragm condenser microphone, something that can pick up sort of a wide range of instruments, and sometimes the band will play around that. Sometimes if I'm playing in a louder setting, I might be playing into a Shure 57 or 58, and I just stay right under the mic. I get super close when I'm playing a solo, and I step back a little bit further when I'm playing more quietly behind. But I'd like to talk to you about my experience using this microphone because it's always nice to get the added freedom to be able to move around and walk around the stage and interact with your bandmates and things when you have the wireless capability. So one of the things initially that I really love about this microphone is that being a person who loves the acoustic sound of a fiddle, of a violin, it always feels like using a electric instrument or a pickup of some kind. I'm missing out on that kind of acoustic experience that I really like. Those pickups do their best to capture vibrations and turn them into a sound that's similar to what comes out of an acoustic instrument. But if you've got a nice instrument and you've invested in a good acoustic instrument, then it's worth finding a microphone that tries to just capture exactly what your fiddle sounds like. And I think this one does a really good job of that. And if you kind of set it right on your instrument, it just clamps on sort of like this D'Addario tuner I have. It sort of just clamps on the side, and you put it over the F holes or over the behind the bridge, and it gives you a good capture sound. Now, I also sing when I play, so it's pretty nice to find moments where this microphone also kind of picks up my voice pretty well. Ain't gonna rest until I find it. There's a bright side somewhere. I'll have to use it a little bit more to see if I could, operate with just that. But I think, between what the microphone is picking up and, a wired microphone, I might use a combination of the two. It's nice to have the extra boost. So let's do some unboxing. Okay, so the ACEMIC comes in this really nice case that is sturdy and pretty nice looking, easy to travel with, throw in a case, and pretty simple construction. This is what you plug into a amplifier or sound system. This is what you're going to attach to the violin or fiddle. I'll show you how that goes on in a second. And we have some charging cords. It comes with this this little charging cable that charges both of them so that they operate fully wirelessly. And this is a little antenna that you connect. Okay, so really easy to use. You just turn on the receiver, you turn on the microphone, and then you click this little sync button here, face each other. You'll get that little green light that came on really quickly. You saw. Once they're synced, they're ready to go. So I've got the gain down here. If I plug this right into my Fishman amplifier, you'll see how simple it is. This is already working. So super easy to set up. I'll show you how to attach it to your fiddle. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, so a few places you can put it on the fiddle. I think actually most people put it here. Ideally, you want the microphone to be either right behind the bridge. Some people like it slightly over the bridge, right here, or over the F hole. But I tend to play my instrument sometimes like this, so I found that the normal placement that people have didn't really work for me. I like to put it right here, which is a little bit kind of in your face, but it gets out of the way if you're plucking. I don't blame them, goodness knows. Honeysuckle rose. So what I do here is I just I pull the feet down. The spring's a little tight, but if I put the feet on the top and I pull it down, I can get it to grab on. So once that's on, it's pretty good. And like I said, this is kind of a little bit in my face, but I'll put it right there and it's ready to go. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey? Did I do? Another great thing about this mic is you'll have to spend $600, $700 on anything like it in its category. You've heard people probably mention DPAs, which are essentially the same technology and setup as this microphone here, but of course they're maybe 5 or 6 times more expensive. So this is definitely worth a shot. It's $135, and I would say it's definitely a steal for the value that you're getting. The ACEMIC is capable of transmitting its signal over 130 feet. I haven't had any trouble in any of the distances that I've been from the sound system and the stage, so that's really awesome. It has multi-channel capability, so if you have multiple of the same types of microphones on stage, they can all communicate with each other without kind of getting messed up. And the battery life is great. As long as you charge it before a show, it charges fully in maybe 2 or 3 hours. And you can get maybe 6 to 8 hours of playtime out is just fine, probably more, depending on the volume that you're using. So I want to thank ACEMIC for sending me this and trusting me with this review. I've really enjoyed using it, and I can't wait to look forward to using it more in the future. So I'm using this Fishman Loudbox Charge, which is my absolute favorite amp. You'll see that most people who play, violin, cello, or viola, they're using these amps for good reason. They're tuned to treat a violin right. They're tuned for acoustic music, and they have a built-in EQ system, a preamp here, that allows you to change the amount of highs or mids or lows. You can add reverb, which I always recommend, and you can even add some chorus or heavy. So this is going to make your fiddle sound thicker, like if you're getting buried in a band with louder instruments. Reverb is going to recreate the feeling of you being in a nice room. So, a lot of times where the acoustics aren't perfect, you can add that natural sound that the violin's sort of meant to have in big spacious rooms by adding reverb, and then you can adjust your frequencies to get yourself more punchy or more brilliant, or maybe a little bit more present. There's not a ton of low frequencies in a violin. These knobs can really help you depending on your room. I also want to mention that these work as great monitors, meaning if you plug this in on stage and face this towards you, you're getting to hear yourself really well, and then you can send the signal out here. It says mix DI output right there. That's the same as, if you have a DI box that's on the stage that people send to the sound system. It's much better actually to use this DI output because you're still able to get your signal to the main speakers, but you have this as a monitor where you can listen to yourself, and you have total control over your fiddle tone, which is always good because not everybody knows how to do that. So I wanted to recommend that. Other great things about this amp, it's got Bluetooth capability. You can have 2 inputs, so you can have an instrument and a microphone. And of course, the mini charge version of it is actually able to run purely on battery, which is great for like outdoor weddings or or even, you know, putting the monitor in a place where you don't have an extra plug. Of course, you can run it on power as well. Highly recommend this amp too. Now, my partner Lana is a violinist and used this microphone on a short tour with a country band, which had drums on some of the shows and pedal steel guitar and electric guitar, so a little bit louder setting than what I was describing before, and she's going to tell you about her experience using the ACEMIC.
Hi, my name is Lana Auerbach. I had a great time using the ACEMIC on a tour I did for the month of June. I played in 6 different venues, all with different sound setups, and I was able to plug this microphone straight into a Fishman amp, and that sounded great. At one of the gigs, I also plugged it right into a DI, which was great sounding as well. And then there was another time where I plugged the mic straight into a soundboard. It can be used in multiple settings. I thought that the tone that it produced from the instrument sounded much better than a pickup would because it's an actual microphone over the F-holes. And I had a great experience. It was very easy. I charged it before using it every time, and it was very easy to use. It sounded great in every setting I was in, and I'm really happy with my experience.
The ACEMIC is capable of transmitting its signal over 130 feet. I haven't had any trouble in any of the distances that I've been from the sound system and the stage, so that's really awesome. It has multi-channel capability, so if you have multiple of the same types of microphones on stage, they can all communicate with each other without kind of getting messed up. And the battery life is great. As long as you charge it before a show, it charges fully in maybe 2 or 3 hours. And you can get maybe 6 to 8 hours of playtime out is just fine, probably more, depending on the volume that you're using. So I want to thank ACEMIC for sending me this and trusting me with this review. I've really enjoyed using it, and I can't wait to look forward to using it more in the future. If you're interested in more tips on how to mic a violin or fiddle and the advantages and disadvantages of different setups like using a pickup or an electric instrument or a microphone or wireless microphone like this, check out my blog post on this, how to mic a violin or fiddle. Just throw in my name there, you'll be able to find it.